Oh. Why are you here? Wait, isn't that... Oh, thank goodness. Don't know why I can't fast travel during dusk hour. Wait, can you not fast travel right now? I mean, like, didn't the game in the tutorial say that there would be certain points where you can't fast travel? Or something like that? Although, they could just limit it by just graying out the areas you are not allowed access to be honest. But, I don't know. I was just starting to wonder if I came to the wrong place. Ernest? Did you come to see me? Yes, I did. I had business to attend to at the office, so I decided to stop by. Ellie? What's wrong? You don't look too great. Well... So you've gone to see Arkansas recently. Related to your police work, I take it? Well, sort of. Someone in the troop was asking us for advice, and we went to report what we found, that's all. Not... okay. You know, Ellie, I wasn't sure whether I wanted to come to here today or not. But I know I made the right decision. What do you mean? Allow me to be brutally honest with you. Oh. Does Ernest not approve of Ellie working with the CPD? Okay, I was expecting one of the two or both of them to be disapproving of Ellie's choice to work in the SSS. Okay, let's see. Ellie, I want you to quit the Force and return to us. Quit the Force? He wants to do what? Whoa there, buddy, that came out of left field. It does not appear to stem from feelings of love, at least. I know it was your idea to join the CPD, Ellie, but you have the eyes of a lost lamb. You look so... exhausted. Ask yourself, is this really the path you should be walking? What are you saying, Ernest? Listen to me. I know you understand the current political climate, and the despair that comes with it better than anyone. And that's likely where your initial urge to join the police originated from. But just try to think about the torment and the pain the mayor's going through, how he feels in the current situation. I never meant for grandfather to... The anniversary festival draws near with every passing day, and Mayor McDowell is up to his neck with work. And after that, it's right back to arguing with Imperial and Republican factions over budget. Then the very next month, he'll be up for re-election. As I'm sure you know, Mayor McDowell has had plans to retire, but without a suitable successor, he remains undecided. I'm sure that if you were by his side, he would feel much more confident. I'm sorry, Ellie. Perhaps this was uncalled for. However, I cannot ignore the issue any longer. As someone who respects Mayor McDowell, and as your friend, I cannot stand idle any longer. Ernest, obviously what path you choose to follow is entirely up to you, but all I want for you to not regret your decision. Follow what you know to be right. Follow what you know to be right and quit the SSS! Just give me time to think about it. Excuse me, everyone. I'm tired, so I'll retire to my room for now. Sure, Ellie. Go ahead. My apologies. I know suddenly showing up out of the blue wasn't exactly tactful. It's okay. It sounds like Ellie's situation is much more complicated than we thought. As long as you stop bothering Ellie, we're cool. What Randy said. Personally, it feels you're attempting to take Ellie away from us. Really? That wasn't my intention. Oh no, it is, you asshole. Still, you are aware that she wanted to become a politician before a police officer, aren't you? A politician? Really? You don't say. Ellie. That would explain your seemingly boundless knowledge of politics and economics. As the heir of our current mayor, it is only natural for her to pursue a career in politics. Her years as an exchange student, so many nations should have contributed to her talent for international relations and politics, but when she returned home last year, she was dead set on joining the CPD. So that's how it happened. I was unaware. I didn't always wonder why a fancy lady like herself was working for the CPD. Would you keep an eye on her until she makes her decision? She's too talented, too skilled to simply flounder about like this. Goodness, would you look at the time? I'm sorry for taking up so much of your time. I'll get out of your hair now. That's alright. See you, Ernest. Asshole. Oh, great. Today's been filled with sighs, hasn't it? With the ringer we just went through today? Hell, I'd say they're warranted. My brain's fried. Yours and mine both, Randy. Anyway, let's report back to the chief and call it a day. Hey, there's Zay just chilling. So that's where things stand. Well, are you okay with leaving the situation as is? You're saying we have a choice. The First Division took over the case. There's no way we can oppose them given our team's position on the force. You make a good point, Lloyd. The fox will probably track you down and start barking at you until the sun sets. Yeah, that seems to be one of the deputy director's favorite pastimes. Can we not simply offer our assistance to the First Division? Don't know how will that play out, considering considering old Four Eyes' attitude toward us. Excuse me. Yep, that's also a long shot. CPD is a territorial bunch, and it makes the organization a hassle to deal with. That goes double for the First Division. Their stubbornness wouldn't allow them to accept help from a group of rookies like the SSS. But if you're talking about working incognito, that's another topic altogether. You're proposing we go behind their backs. Huh, this is a special support section. The most unconventional squad out there. Since we're kind of ignored by the department, that gives you a certain level of discretion that you can use to your advantage. Basically, if you play your cards right, you can act without provoking that territorial nature of theirs. Makes sense? In theory, maybe. Dude, you realize you just said we can ignore superior's orders, right? You're being quite the bad influence. Huh, didn't I make myself clear? I won't work with you in the field, but I'll cover you when I can. You're the one jumping into the fire, not me. That being said, the current situation might make this plan impossible to pull off. One of you is struggling to find out what to do. And this situation is only something you can overcome by operating as a unit. You're right, but... well, if Ellie doesn't know what to do right now, she must really be down in the dumps. She'll probably get over it, but I'd be lying if I didn't say I have some butterflies. She's been like that all day from what I can tell. Is Ellie going to be alright? Zay just slept. Human problems. I sleep. Oh god, the tea I have is still hot. Little night visit? Ellie. Over these past 2 months, I thought we'd become pretty close, but... sounds like all the important issues she's dealing with flew right over my head. I suppose it makes sense that Mayor McDowell's granddaughter is an aspiring politician herself. Now that I think about it, you didn't attend the police academy, right, Ellie? So, how'd you happen to join the CPD? Well, to be honest, this is part of my plan to study our society. While I didn't attend the academy, I did take a written exam and a marksmanship test when I applied. They couldn't really reject me since I made perfect marks on both tests. You know, the more I learn, the more I feel like we're worlds apart. Oh, but it's pretty rare for rookies to already earn their detective license, isn't it? You have your own circumstances, right, Lloyd? That's... Perhaps it'd be best to continue this talk after we've officially become co-workers. We never did have that talk now, huh? Well, you know what to do, Lloyd. Alright. I'll try talking to Ellie for a bit. Sneak into her room. Now, we have more tact than that. We're his visitor anyways. If she's worried about something, I might be able to lend a shoulder. And is it time we continue that conversation we started? Yo, Randy, how's it going? Oh, what you up to, Lloyd? Going out of the town? Oh, not exactly. It's about Ellie then. Well, I'm sure she has her own things to worry about, you know? Not sure if it's the kind of stuff we should be really butting into, though. Yeah, that might be true. Still, there's something on her mind. I want her to know that she can rely on us. Trust me, I don't want to see her down in the dumps either. Still, I'm just not sure if we should really be butting into her personal issues is all. Hey, but if her personal issues is impacting the work we do as a team, kinda need to talk it out. Hi, what's Tio doing? Oh, were you busy reading something, Tio? Yes, I was halfway through the science journal, actually. Lloyd, I know. You're worried about Ellie too, aren't you? I was just thinking about, going to talk to her. Is that so? If that's the case, I'll leave it all to you, Lloyd. After all, dealing with these sorts of issues doesn't fall into my area of expertise. I'll leave Ellie in your capable hands, Lloyd. Initially, I believed that it might be more appropriate for another girl to handle this issue, but this field isn't really my forte. Alright. Time for the talk. And time for me to get another drink real quick. Okay. Here goes nothing. Ellie? Do you have a minute? No reply. Is she asleep? No. I don't sense anyone inside. Excuse me. I'm coming in. She's on the roof. Huh, she's not in the room. Where could she have gone? Should I try searching for her? Ah, the rooftop scene. There she is. Lloyd? Hey, hey Ellie. How did you know it was me? Just a hunch. Well, I say that, but I think you knew, I think I knew you would come somehow. So you did. We never continued that conversation. Breathtaking as always. Isn't that the IBC in the distance? Yes, it is. You know, Lloyd, I thought you would find a night's stay as beautiful as Crossbows even if you scoured the entirety of Zemuria. Yet the more lights of the city shine, the more the stars seem to dim. The stars, the purity of starlight, and the symbol of the goddess. Ellie. I thought I had to remind you of what happened today. With Revash, Heiyu, and Dudley. No matter what you do, you can't change Crossbow's true nature. Revash's iron grip is here to stay. I'm merely referring to them as our fellow business competitors. State law protects competition between businesses and free trade, you know. You take offense with that, officers. Meaning that the corrupt politicians are covering for Heiyu and Revash. We're charged with maintaining a certain degree of order in the city, where justice cannot be truly upheld. We're expected to suppress major crimes and protect the public from criminal organizations and foreign intelligence agencies, all while fighting an uphill battle. Can you possibly fathom the work that goes into that? Therein lies the city's darkness, the tragic truth of the state called Crossbell. We're kept alive only by the will of the Empire and Republic, stripped of all pride, lied to, and deceived. We're drowning in a false prosperity and frivolities only because our captors allow it. Everyone just surrenders to these circumstances and accepts the status quo, blissfully ignorant. That's the city we live in, Lloyd. Maybe you're right. But you don't want to surrender yet, or just yet, do you? I once had a mother and father. Once had? Oh, I suppose that putting it that way makes it sound like they've passed away. They're still very much alive. What I mean to say is they divorced when I was little. My mother lives in the Empire now, and my father in the Republic. Oh, really? I had no idea. My father was born and raised in the Republic. He moved to Crossbell City and met my mother. And after marrying into the McDowell family, he strove to become a politician. Immediately after becoming a Diet member, he recognized the ugly, distorted reality of the city. As someone with a strong sense of justice, he made it his duty to mend this broken city. Year after year, he drafted reform bills, all in hopes of bringing change to the state. That's amazing. It's not. In the end, his bills were never passed. The Imperial and Republican factions both shunned him, ridiculed him. One by one, his allies betrayed him, friends left him, and he became the laughingstock of the political world. Not even my grandfather, as well respected as he is for being neutral, was able to mend his career. My father was shattered beyond repair by the state he once held so dear. And then, one day he quit. As a Diet member, as a husband, and as my father. He decided to leave everything behind for Calvard. Ellie, I'm so sorry. My mother couldn't stop him, and at the same time she couldn't follow him while dragging me along. Eventually they settled on a divorce, and my father was gone for good. I always thought Mother hated him for what he did, but I'm sure she was just as heartbroken. It soon became apparent that living in Crossbell, the state that robbed her of her love, would be too much to bear. So my mother left me behind in Crossbell and went to live with her relatives in the Empire. That was when my grandfather took me in, raising me to who I am now. It was from that moment on I vowed to follow grandfather down the path of politics. It's not as if I feel an urge to avenge my father or anything like that. I just couldn't accept reality. How could a family, so jubilant and loving, end up in absolute shambles that quickly? After I made my decision, grandfather began to help me. I studied abroad, all over the continent, focusing on politics and economics. However, the more I studied, the more I realized that the gears of Crossbell were powered by oppression. After all, Crossbell lies between two great powers. Our justice, our national interests are intertwined between Erbonia, or with Erbonia and Calvard, only serving to blur the line between what we need and what they want. That was when I finally saw it for myself. Crossbell's barriers? Yes, the same ones my father faced, and one I'm sure my grandfather faces too. Lloyd, do you know who represents the Crossbell state government? Shouldn't that be Mayor McDowell? Well, yes, but there's technically two people, the Crossbell City Mayor and the Speaker of the Diet. Grandfather Imperial Faction Speaker Hartman jointly represent our government. That's how we operate according to state law. Sounds like I neglected some of my studies. But wait, why did Crossbell adopt such a divided system in the first place? That's obvious. If two equal representatives continually hinder things by butting heads, political reform is nigh impossible. Uh-huh. That sounds a little too familiar to me. That is too IRL for me. No way. Is that really how things are? I'm afraid so. With two people on top, one side can easily sabotage the other if they try to push some sort of reform through. Nah, that's fine, Neil. Let's not go too far with IRL. It already hits home hard enough as it is just listening to Ellie. The fact that this happens is an ironic inevitability, given Crossbell's founding. 70 years ago, Crossbell State was born from a mutual agreement between Erbonia and Calvard. In fact, Crossbell's founders were none other than Imperial and Republican lawyers. Seeing the current state of Crossbell, I can't help but think of it as a curse. I was at a loss. If I were to continue into the world of politics, that same curse would grab me by the neck and drag me under like my father. That's why I decided on a new approach, one my family hadn't tried yet. And that was a CPD. Yes, from there I told myself I could observe the Crossbell's distortions without looking through the muddy lens of politics. I convinced myself that my experiences gained here would be my weapon of choice on the day I entered Crossbell's political arena. The reform that my father failed to achieve, and grandfather's unable to pursue. I thought that this new, unblemished perspective could finally make it become a reality. I'm sure it can, Ellie. Perhaps, but in the back of my mind, I know that joining the CPD might only have been an escape. I know that what happened today was inevitable, but still, the reality of things was even colder and crueler than I imagined. When confronted with it, I was at a loss. Maybe I'm incapable of doing anything on my own after all. Maybe I'm just a broken little girl, abandoned by her mother and father. So what? Huh? You really are a perfectionist, aren't you, Ellie? Failure isn't an option. The only way forward, is to place everything on my shoulders here and now. That's how you've been thinking, isn't it? That's not... Look, I agree. Today sucked. Being ridiculed, having to hear that all of our efforts are in vain. But think about it. Aren't those the things we signed up for when we joined the SSS? Remember, Ellie, there may be barriers we can't get over today, but that doesn't mean we won't be able to get over them tomorrow. Or get around them. Barriers we can't get over today. Right now, the only one in front of us is the threat letter case. And even though the First Division has taken control of the investigation from us, I'd say we continue investigating separately from them, if at all possible. What? But there's nothing we can do about it, is there? Hey, if they don't know, they can't reprimand us if they don't know about it. And since they don't care about us, they won't bother keeping track of what we do. Easy! Obviously, they should be a little bit smarter than that. Sure, the First Division may be phenomenal, but even so, it's obvious that they're stuck in a cop's mindset, only adhering to traditional logic. Maybe a new perspective is exactly what's needed to crack this case. At least, that's how I feel about things. Lloyd. Just like how you joined the CPD to gain a new perspective on Crossbell, right? Should we miraculously solve this case, then... surely what you're aiming for isn't an impossibility, right? I'll admit that comparing our current investigation to Crossbell's underlying issues is a bit of an oversimplification. But what we need right now is the experience of overcoming these kinds of obstacles. Think about it. Clear the small barriers, one by one. If we do that, then someday, we'll have the power to get over the taller ones too. Lloyd, in these 2 months we've been together, I've come to realize something. You have your own set of barriers you want to overcome, don't you? And if that's the case, how are you able to stay so optimistic? Well, let's see. I'm the main character. This is a Falcom game. Main protagonist and overly optimistic kind of go hand in hand. Maybe it's because I have someone I'm trying to catch up to. though that in itself may present some issues. I think I understand. But I'm not as strong as you are, Lloyd. I'm just so tired of it all. Despite how things seem, I didn't intend on talking about my past as much as I did. I just couldn't keep it bottled up anymore. At this rate, I'm only going to drag the team down. And if that's the case, I should probably... Okay, Lloyd, this is when you're going for the hug. This is when you're going for the hug. Damn. Ellie, listen to me. Ah, just a shoulder pat. God damn. Oh, I guess the hug would be a little bit too far. Not yet. I think that might be one step too far. Okay, just a shoulder pat. Damn it. We need you. God damn it, Lloyd, you have one job. You have one goddamn job. I apparently lack the courage stat to finish that initial sentence. God damn it. Oh, they're playing with me here. Your profound knowledge, your negotiation skills, your sharpshooting, your sense of justice. If we're going to stand up to this city, we're going to need you. But, let me rephrase that. While all that's true, my point is this. If you stay by our side, Ellie, I'd happily take on anything Crossbow has to throw at us. What? All of us were a bit of a mess at the start, but I think we've gotten pretty close over the past 2 months. Even when we're bombarded with the stress of daily life, we make time for the small things, like deciding whose turn it is to cook or to do laundry. And when it comes to our fields of expertise, we've come to place our trust in each other. Shouldn't we be grateful to have partners like that? Well, we may still be rookies, sure, but it's way too early to for us to give up hope for Crossbow's future, and with it, our dreams. We'll tackle each day head on, do whatever we can, keep confronting the status quo relentlessly, and if that somehow fails, we'll just come up with a new plan. It's not just me, but Randy and Tio too. I have no doubt that the Chief would do everything in his power to help us out as well. Heck, even Zayd has our back now. Bottom line, you're not alone, Ellie. Not anymore. I'm not alone? Yes, that's true. I'm disappointed I forgot something as simple as that. Thank you, Lloyd. Even though it won't be easy to solve all my problems, I feel much better now. Refreshed even. I'm glad to hear that. Still. She's blushing a little bit. Apart from the lines that sounded like they came out straight out of a teen drama, I was a bit surprised. Oh my god. Oh my god. God damn it. I'm painfully aware of how cheesy they were, okay? But what do you mean by surprised, Ellie? Because, well, talking about how I'm needed and telling me that you want me by your side. I thought you were confessing. Only known each other for 2 months and Lloyd's going far. Unintentionally. Just your usual protagonist things. Confess? Wait, hold the phone. That wasn't my intention at all. Oh? Lloyd! Lloyd! God damn it! No! God damn it, you're ruining everything! Stop! Are you implying I'm not worth confessing to? Lloyd! No! You fool! You know that's not it. Oh, come on, you're just making fun of me now, aren't you? There's a small dose of payback. You should be a bit more self-aware, though. Honestly, I don't know whether to call you a natural smooth talker or an up-and-coming womanizer. I just love how like everyone always takes a little bit of time to just try to paint Lloyd as some kind of like womanizer or some kind of like ladies' man in the making, basically. with all the affection that he's gotten from Claire and Ilya already as is, and I guess Rixia too, I think. Oh my god. I'm not sure how many people like dislike seeing how much they hammer in this meme with Lloyd over and over, but I hope they keep with this to the very end of the crossbow games. Oh my god, I can't get tired of this. Hey, hold on a second. Are you still talking about me, or did you switch to Randy? Your denseness doesn't help your case any either. Good grief, Lloyd. I can't believe that words alone made me get all flustered like that. What'd you say? I missed that. Nothing. It's nothing. Lloyd! Selective protagonist hearing! Ah! I forget which anime clip it was, but I remember seeing some animes parody the what was it? Like, they parody the selective hearing, like, male protagonists have. So that, like, anytime, like, a girl, like, confesses or says anything affectionate, the MC just, like, huh? Like, it's like, the sound waves of what they uttered from their mouth just doesn't register to their eardrums. It's like, I love you. Or something like that, and then it's just crickets. Oh, god damn. Lloyd, she's right next to you. I'm really sorry for leaving the chief's report all up to you. Have you come up with a plan, about the investigation yet? Not yet. I just can't shake the feeling that in the end, this is all happening by Yin's design. Tomorrow we can ask around and see if we can't find some sort of lead based around that. That's fine by me. Thanks to you, I have a feeling that I'll be getting a good night's rest tonight. How about we hold a meeting tomorrow after we get our much needed rest? Sounds like a plan. Lloyd, you goddamn it, you should have gone for the hug. Oh, hey! Now we can finally see the dual S-break. By spending 100 CP each, a powerful combination attack can be unleashed. Oh, okay, not really an S-break, but a combo attack. Okay. Cool. Ah, okay. Going to Heiyu now. That concludes this week's report. The warhounds they trained may prove troublesome. If Master Yin were available, he would easily compensate for our lack of force. Very well. Proceed with preparations as planned. Next on the agenda, recall half of our personnel currently dispatched in Altair. Understood. I shall take my leave, Master Cal. Have a pleasant evening. Yes, to you as well. How troublesome. I'll have to worry about the consequences later if I request the Elder's assistance. I seem to be a bit of a bind. If only Master Yin were more cooperative, our plans would be proceeding splendidly. Worry not, I plan to uphold my end of the bargain. Whoa! Do you now? It shouldn't surprise me that you were eavesdropping. Oh dear me, I fear I may have made a few slips of the tongue. I can only presume you had me hear it intentionally, correct? Always a tough customer, aren't you, Cal? Oh goodness, no. You, on the other hand. Never mind that. Do you wish to discuss business tonight? Or perhaps are you in the mood to cull some warhounds? Your subordinates are more than capable enough to handle such a minor threat. The deal was to have me take care of Revash's main force, beginning with that man, Garcia. But do correct me if I'm mistaken. Oh dear, you truly are no fun. It's come to my attention that you've become entangled with Arkansas for some odd reason. Just a reminder that the CPD isn't too shabby at their jobs, so don't do anything to soil my good name. Do I make myself clear? No need to worry. More importantly, what kind of impression has the special support section left on you? Oh, so that's your game. You have ties to them, don't you? Let's see. They're an odd combination of children, especially Mr. Bannings, who seems to act as their leader. He's perfectly aware of his weakness and yet continues to push forward with determination. His intuition is enough to keep him on his toes, too. I quite like his type, to be honest. I was not asking you about your taste, fool. Who is this person? What about the other members? Again, each one of them proves to be quite interesting. Mayor McDonald's granddaughter possesses a keen sense of diplomacy and operates as the team's administrator. As for the girl from the Epstein Foundation, while her overstaff is fascinating, she is likely hiding a few tricks up her sleeve. And lastly, we have our ginger gentleman. This may only be my intuition speaking, but I felt that he's the same as us. Surely you understand. The same as us? The same as us. Ah. What, did Randy, like, basically have, like, a secret life working as part of the Jaegers or something like that? I don't know. It's like the same as us? As in, like, he kind of works in, like, or he has, what was it? Some kind of familiarity with, like, some darker side of business or combat or merc work or something like that. I don't know. I don't know how to, like, phrase this well. But, oh yeah, wait. Garcia also mentioned, or also stopped Randy for a moment saying, hey, you look familiar. That must be my imagination. So I'm like, I doubt he would have had former ties to Revash, right? Or maybe it's Garcia. Maybe this goes like into maybe more personal history that we don't yet know about. But nah, that's speculating too much with like nothing else to go on other than gut feelings. Yes. I must ask, why have you taken such great interest in them? Whatever do you mean? I only wish to put them to a little test. Well, they prove to be worthy opponents for Yin, to whom you have entrusted your request. So this was all just a test from none other than Yin himself. Zate's out in front. Randy's weapons. Would the weapon Randy has be any indicator of his connections to Jaegers? I mean, like, he could just have a different weapon and still, you know, maybe has some kind of past history, but I don't know, that was just kind of like, I'm just like throwing out wild assumptions or accusations hoping something sticks, you know. It's like something I blab about has to be right eventually. But Yeah, so Garcia's familiar with Randy. Cal is familiar, or not really familiar, but he says he's like the same as us. Or whatever that means. Same as in like previous things they dealt with, or jobs, or just something, I don't know. I mean, has Randy done anything before the CGF? We don't know. Although, how long has Randy been with the CGF? Was it like a year or two or something before transferring to the SSS? I don't know, like, and since he's kind of older, or since he's quite a bit older than everyone else, like, didn't he say he's like 24, I think? Something like that? Like mid-20s? So, there could have still been a fair amount of time where he could have worked with something a little bit more on the shady side, or maybe not like the shady side, but dealt with some shady things before going to the CGF, right? Because I don't think it was natural talent alone that made him quite as infamous as a fighter within the CGF, right? It gotta be something more than that. He only worked at a relatively short period at the CGF? Yeah, like relatively short period. Like, still basically considered a menace not only to other women, but to other people in combat. But, we'll see. It'll probably come into play, like, I don't know, maybe chapter 3 or something, because this chapter is more for Ellie's development. Alright, let me mute the microphone one more second. Oh, Randy is around 21 or something at this point? Okay. I always had a feeling he was like mid-20s. Oh well. But isn't it a bit ridiculous? Despite our work, we had no choice but to hand the case over to the First Division. Pixie was smart enough to ask us, but just imagine she hadn't. Everything we learned about Yin would have stayed in the dark. Yeah, I know. Can't we think of some way to trick them? Some kind of diversion? Let's think for a minute. Who would know about the existence of Yin? Well, obviously Heiyu, considering that's his current employer. And then there's their rival, Revash, and the First Division, who's tracking Heiyu's movements, according to Dudley. From there, we can assume that Speaker Hartman, who's closely tied to Revash, knows about him as well. That's the man you mentioned yesterday, right, Ellie? Yes, he's a career politician who more or less rules over the Diet, serving as the leader of the Imperial faction. Honestly, it wouldn't seem far-fetched to say that he's Revash's greatest supporter. Hey, Patchy, how you doing? Incidentally, almost all of Grandfather's reform bills were crushed by this man. I've always heard this name, but never understood the weight behind it. But in this instance, wouldn't Yin be their opponent? That would make sense. Theo, Randy, what's up? You two look as if you just saw Arkansas for the first time. No, it's just... You're quite in a good mood today, aren't you, Ellie? Well, of course. Listen, I'm sorry everyone, I wasn't myself yesterday. But trust me, I'm fine now. I don't intend to be a burden to the team. Ellie, you've never been a burden to us. Quite the opposite, actually. You help us out occasionally, no matter what the situation is. I mean, look at us right now. You're making connections in this case that I'd never be able to make. I guess so. Something smells fish. Agreed. Something is off. Very off. What's that supposed to mean? Wait a minute, you two. You know, I could hear a pair of voices chattering away on the roof from my window. Look, we're having a moment. You didn't need to have that window open, okay? I wonder. Ellie, Lloyd, congratulations. Congratulations. I wish the best for you too. God damn it. Hold on. we didn't do anything that warrants congratulations, right, Ellie? Yes, I mean, no. Wait. We were just talking about life and other things of that nature. Life, eh? I'm sure you did. So, Lloyd, how far did you go? Randy! But please, Theo's sitting right there. How far did you go? Is Randy referring to the intimacy people engage in while in romantic relationships? Oh, always gotta put it in such a robotic way, don't you? Nope, not at all. Lloyd and Nelly, sitting in a tree. Guys, cut it out. Yes, ma'am. Jeez, you guys are insane. Me and Ellie together. Lloyd! Lloyd, you shut the fuck up! Come on! You... Oh my god! Lloyd, you fucking dumbass! There are times when you just need to deflect and move on instead of continuing down this rabbit hole and get punched in the face by Ellie. God, why do you have to... He killed the flag. He killed the flag. Although obviously they're probably gonna make up or something, I don't know, but... God damn it, Lloyd! What was that? Oh, wait, no, wait. Oh, wait, did I read this word? Ah, whatever. I mean... This hurts to read. This hurts so much to read. God, I know I should be used to this, having watched like a fair amount of anime and just dealing with typical anime stories and all that stuff, but come on! I mean, we're kind of incompatible, and everything last night was strictly professional, right, Ellie? Ellie's expression says it all. What's the matter? Can I reach into my monitor and strangle Lloyd right here? Randy, do it for me. Come on. You numbskull. You just signed your death warrant, Lloyd. Oh yes, you are so right, Lloyd. All I did was ask you for some advice on a very unimportant subject, that's all. And there most definitely wasn't any sort of romantic atmosphere like you oh so graciously pointed out. Alright then? You know, by incompatible, I only meant that we didn't... Oh. Can we replace Lloyd with Zate right now? Please? This just keeps getting worse. I don't want to read the next line just because he just keeps digging himself a foot deeper every single time he says another word. Oh, this is writing. Yeah, oh my god, Lloyd. God damn. You had everything. I know typical anime tropes with the dense MC and all, but you had everything going for you, and you just chuck it all. Just like Randy at the casino. You know, by incompatible, I only meant that we don't exactly make a good match. Sorry. Too easy. Well, on the bright side, looks like you perked up since yesterday, Ellie. Oh, thank goodness. I wasn't sure whether or not you were going to stay with the CPD. I'm sorry, I never meant to make you all worry. I don't know where the future will take me, but right now I know this is where I'm meant to be. So, everyone, I'm happy that I get to keep working with you. We wouldn't trade you for the world, Ellie. The SSS wouldn't be the SSS without you. Amen to that. Besides, that we'd be able to get anything done with, around here without you, or without you to keep us from goofing off. I wouldn't have to be so stern all the time if you three would just stay on task. Well, that's enough of that. Lloyd, do you have any idea on what to do about the investigation from here on out? Yeah, about that. We could always attempt to corner Yin with a different approach other than the We could always attempt to cover Yin with a different approach than the one the First Division is using. But considering how many methods there actually are, we might just end up even more confused than we are now. Yeah, that's probably not the best strategy. Why don't we go on a little trip to Calvar's Eastern Quarter? How about we find a few clues about Yin there. Are you being serious, Randy? Will we even get permission to go on a business trip? Given our team's situation, I doubt we'd be able to travel be allowed to travel very far. Oh? Tio? Did you think of something? Well, I was contemplating looking into the police database a bit more. Perhaps I would be able to learn about the First Division's movements and so on. Then again, I researched it last night, so it likely hasn't been updated since. That's not a bad idea. Hey, beats sitting around here doing nothing. Oh. What is it, Tio? How strange. It seems as though we received an orb mail. What's that again? Aren't they essentially letters that can be sent from terminal to terminal? Precisely. The peculiar thing is, despite being extremely useful, almost no one in the CPD uses orbital mail. So basically, the hacker man boy, or hacker boy, is sending us a mail, isn't he? Most likely because not many officers are trained to use keyboards. Blech. I'm one of those, unfortunately. Well, you're gonna learn today! you know... a thing that nobody uses. I mean, it's a relatively new, you know, technology and feature of the orbital networks and stuff. You know, give it like a couple more years or months, hopefully, if you think people in the in-game world are more competent to pick up typing on a keyboard and using technology or newer technology. But yeah, it'd be pretty funny if there's like if they had a typing minigame. Oh, that'd be hilarious. Well, who's it from? Let me check. Impossible. What's wrong? Who would send us? Yin, hereby submit my support request. Overcome this trial and face me. Only then will I grant you your mission. It's him! Is this some kind of joke? Tio, where's that mail sent from? Definitely not from the police department. Got it. Apparently it's sent from the International Bank of Crossbow, otherwise known as the IBC. Actually, computer literacy in Japan is lower than most would expect. which is why a character can't into computer is a common trope. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. How many tech Neanderthals there are with either computers or just a certain someone in Fate who can't work with what was it? What was it called? DVR? Actually, I never used one of those things before myself. Does it know how to record a TV show? What exactly does it mean? The IBC is that bank that rakes in mirror from all over Zemuria, right? Why the hell would a place like that be sending us prank mail? Don't ask me. I can say, however, that this mail was definitely sent from an IBC terminal. I have no way of knowing who sent it, though. Could it possibly be that could it be possible that Yin infiltrated the IBC? It's not out of the question. The IBC is home to a few external companies and organizations. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there's the I believe there's an Epstein Foundation office too. That's correct. An acquaintance of mine works there, actually. But it seems I forgot to mention something. The orbital mail was sent directly from the IBC's main terminal. Because of that, I think the possibility of a company being involved is low. Well, we don't know until we ask them. I want our investigation to fly under the First Division's radar, but we really don't have any other choice. Yeah, going in undercover this time might be a little tricky. Should we hurry up and check it out before they screw everything up again? Actually, we may be able to perform our search in secret after all. Ah, using the mayor's connections to help get us in, right? How exactly? My best friend's father works at the IBC. If we told him about our unique situation, he might give us a hand. Think so? Hey, ain't that convenient? Got more connections than you know what to do with, eh, Ellie? Well, I have a decent amount. Unfortunately, I have no way of knowing whether or not he's even in Crossbow City, given how hectic his schedule is. What sort of position does he hold there? A pretty important one. Honestly, I'd be surprised if you didn't know his name. Dieter Kreuss. The Dieter Kreuss? You know him? What, he famous or something? Randy! Yeah, he is. Honestly, you can make the argument that he's just as popular as Ilya. Dieter Kreuss. He's a prominent Zemurian billionaire, a leader of the world economy, and the current CEO of the International Bank of Crossbow. Best friend of the person who owns IBC, goddamn. Or best friends, or... whatever, you know what I mean. He runs the frickin' bank?! Mr. Kreuss was originally an old friend of my father's, but he also kept a friendly relationship with my grandfather. Because of that, I've known him a good portion of my life. Oh, and I almost forgot. His daughter is one of my closest childhood friends. Wow, that's amazing. Thing is, we can't do much if he's not there, even if he is the CEO. You're right, I heard he spends almost half the year flying abroad. Nevertheless, there's no harm in trying, is there? Even if Mr. Kreuss isn't there, my friend might be. She may even be able to help us. Let's do it then. I think we already have a rough idea of what the situation is, so we should know what in particular to investigate. The intentions behind the orb mail, right? It was rather intimidating, but what exactly does he plan to do? Well, it's obvious that the other party contacted us intentionally. I'd say we take the bait. Agreed. Shall we head to the IBC?